Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. For all of those that are tuning in, welcome to another episode of What Anna Said podcast. Today is a very special day for our podcast and this episode because this is our first time that we're going to have a guest on with us. Not only is she Oh, yes. And it's not Sienna. For those of you who are watching our visual audience on YouTube, for those of you who are watching, we are here with Sienna again. She's joining us on this episode because she doesn't want to take her nap yet. So she's here with her mama. But we do have a special guest with us here today. Not only is she special to this episode, but she's also special to us. She has a special place in our heart, and that is Fa, aka Fit for You, aka Fierce Fa. Exactly. For those of you, if you know, you know. Fa has been a trailblazer in our community, especially with her fitness journey, just having such transparency with her fitness journey and her goals and all the highs and lows that she shares with us. So we're so excited to dive right into that and share her journey with you all. Last week, we spoke about Kim's journey and her fitness journey with Step and how she had developed herself, as a rookie in the Step world to then becoming an instructor. So we get
That's
to
right.
Yes. All right. So we're going to go down memory lane.
Yeah, from the rookie to the pro.
Yes.
Okay?
So now we're going to
professional level.
We were talking about the rookie last week. Now we're going to go into the professional level,
Yes.
which is why Fa is with us today. Fa, thank you so much for agreeing to do this with us, because right when we reached out, you immediately said yes. You immediately said yes, and you have supported us not just in this, but you support us on our fitness journey, on our life journey. Not just us as at that time, not as us as your customers or your team when you were doing the fitness thing, but just in our lives too, in our general lives, our well-being, our mental health, our spiritual health. So thank you so much for doing this. It just made sense to have you as our first guest.
I'm honored.
So we wanted to highlight you in our lives and also on this podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Sally, maybe if you want to introduce us to how you were introduced to Fa, and then we will go around. As they say for Islanders, everyone's related, and it's like a funny joke, and it's true today because we not only is Fa our auntie, but more like a sister to us. Our first introduction was actually through fitness. Yes.
Wow, so we're just going to go ahead and start off right with me with a question that I haven't had a chance to ponder on. I'm trying to remember the first time I met Fa, because I feel like I've met her. Sorry. I've met her several times, like here and there, but it wasn't until Jovi Fitness. Then that's when I got to meet Fa, and then getting to introduce her to the rest of everybody. But I know Fa came up to me and she was like, "Hey, are you Vay's daughter?" I'm like, "Yes." And then that's when she said that we were related. I was like, wow. Small world, yes. But Fa was already like full bright smile early in the morning, and I'm still like 4:30. 4:30 start, wiping the crust off my eyes. But that's my first lasting impression of meeting Fa. Yes. What about you?
So for me, just like you met Fa in Jovi, I remember this was 2018. I just gave birth to my son, Simeone, and he was maybe 6 months old. And Sally approached me, of course, and said,
again with her
ideas, approached me and said, "Hey, why don't we go to this fitness boot camp? You love it. There's a lot of moms that are in there. There's a lot of women that are trying to start their journey. So, you'll fit right in." And I remember denying you a lot of times, pushing it off so many times. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it so she can stop asking me. I'm going to do it and get it out of the way.
Usually.
And how
you have to go about it with Sally.
Usually with Sally, she won't stop asking.
Yes, exactly. She won't stop.
You have to give in so she can stop. So I said, I'm going to give in. I remember she told me, okay, class is at 5. And I was like, 5 in the morning?
Exactly.
5 in the morning.
Like, you got me messed up. Okay?
Like, I'm just a regular I'm just a regular person. You want me to wake up at 5 in the morning and come here and work out? So we did. And that was my first introduction to this amazing group of women that I still admire so much today. They're still active in their community and in their health goals. So I remember pulling up that morning, and by the end of the first day, I was done. I was out of it.
Yeah.
I remember just
It was a wake-up call.
It was a wake up call.
Yeah.
I was slapped with the reality of, oh yeah, you're out of shape.
Yeah.
You're so out of shape. I couldn't make it through the first class. I wanted to give up. And being an athlete, as someone who was an athlete growing up, this was a real this was embarrassing for me, because not only was I now facing the reality that, oh, you don't got it like that anymore, but now I'm having to, now I know, oh, this is not a one-time thing. I can't just do this and blow Sally off. I think I have to commit, you know? And that the first day that I met Fa, because we were paired up together. So when I came, they would pair me up with Fa. And so she asked me the same thing afterwards and said, hey, you know, I'm your auntie. And so that was our first introduction. And it was a journey since that first day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first time I met Fa. I
told you to stop your diet.
Yeah, it wasn't. We're going to get to that part. Thank you. It's my turn. All right. Anyways, like I said, I learned a lot when I became an instructor. Okay. But I remember the first time meeting Fa, and I remember this wasn't during the boot camp with my sisters, because I had just given birth to the twins. So I was nursing and just trying to make it alive, okay, with those two boys as newborns. But by the time I did join, Fa was starting her fitness group, and they would meet 5 a.m. And I remember Anna would tell me, like, hey, maybe we should, we could check this out together. I'm not a morning person. I've never been a morning person. I don't know if I'll ever be a morning person. Well, I'm trying, okay? But at this point, no, please. I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock. I remember Anna would call me, like, hey, are you awake? I'm like, yeah, no, I just woke up. It's like, okay, I'm on my way. Okay. I'm still laying there. By the time she says I'm outside, then I'm getting up, putting my shoes on, dragging my feet out to the car to make it to Fa's fitness class. And I just remember dying in her class. I hated going to, like I said in the last episode, I don't like to lift weights. I don't like to, like, if it's not a fun workout, like we're playing a game, I don't want to do it. Okay. So anything Fa would have set out for us, I'm either doing it fast or I'm doing it in the wrong form. I'm trying to get through this class and go home. Okay. And sure enough, here comes Fa, like, Kim, slow and control. Put your elbows in. That you got it. Slow and control. Make sure you're squatting. You don't look like you're So Fa was always there to make sure that I was doing it right. And here I am just listening to her, like, I know she's right, but I don't want to do it. Okay, I'm guilty. I didn't want to be there.
And that's why Kim does those crash diets.
Yeah, and okay, thank you, Sally. Anyways, at this point in time, okay, like I said, before I was an instructor and before meeting Fa, I was really onto, you could call them crash diets. I mean, they have worked out for some people. And I remember I was doing keto one time. And so I was in my fasting stage, right? If you know keto, I was in my fasting stage, and Fa had brought a bag of oranges for everyone after the workout class, and everyone's having an orange. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to have one. And then Fa was like, it's an orange. she looked at me. She looked at me. She was like, it's an orange. You need vitamin C. It's good for you. Eat it. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, no, my diet. Yep. Here I am opening the orange, eating it with everyone else. And and what I found out for sure that, fitness and health is not a short course. Right. It's not a crash course. It's full term, doing it your whole life. It's a lifestyle. Okay. Not just for this amount of days. Okay. So that's one thing I learned with Fa was that when you go into fitness and health, that it is a lifestyle, it's a journey, and you continue on all the way as long as you're here. And that's what Fa has taught me during that time. Right.
And something that we wanted to ask too, because as islanders, coming from a small island, especially for us Polynesians, health is not something that we value as much. It's not even something that's taught in schools. Even right now, my children at the age that they know so much more about health, about how important it is to exercise
Mhm.
more than I ever did whenever we were growing up. And so for you, Fa, especially with someone with the same background, how did you discover, this your passion for fitness, and how did you make it something that was important for you in your life?
I'll be honest with you. I was like you guys, growing up, we just played ball because you didn't want to go home to do chores. So everyone started that way. But my journey actually didn't come till, honestly, after being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
When you become a mother, you become a wife, you become everything, you go to the back burner.
Yeah.
And everything becomes your children, your husband, the
Mm-hmm.
house,
Mm-hmm.
doing your parents' booty still, even when you're married.
Uh-huh.
So my journey didn't come until literally my father was ill. So when my father started getting ill a lot, we were going to the hospital a lot. And at that time, I was struggling. I had endometriosis. I'd been struggling for years with that, so it was probably my 20, a little bit before that. So let's just say if I back up, okay, 2011 is probably when I ended up having my surgery. But before then, I had been an ongoing health journey for myself, meaning I was overweight. All polys, I mean, I won't say all polys are, but most polys, majority of us are, because we are mothers. When you become a mother, everything changes. So, I was sitting at 289 or 298 pounds for over 5 years.
Oh man.
But I had been doing so much different research, and I had tried so many different things that when it came down to it, when I would get to it, I mean, I even thought about lap band and everything. But because we were all athletes at one time, when you get to that point, you're just like, no, I can do it. I don't need it. So a 5 year ongoing struggle. And then it just got to the point where I couldn't do it because of the health struggle that I was dealing with. So in 2011, my father was the one who pushed me to have surgery. And I just remember him saying, because then I thought, well, what are Polynesians going to say? At that point in time, gastric wasn't really a big thing for a lot of people, and I had a sister who did it before, but still my thought is like, dude, why do I need surgery? I've been an athlete. I could do this, but then when complications came, it came to overweight. Dealing with endometriosis was my biggest hurdle. Then I would fall asleep sometimes driving, and I wouldn't know that. You'd have sleep apnea. And then basically, I have an enlarged heart, which when it came down to it, I was basically going to die before I was the age of 38. So that's really, honestly, at 2011, after I had the surgery, 2011, 2010, I don't remember. Maybe it was 2011, 2012. Anyhow, after that, my father and my mother was the biggest pushers of health, because we would take my dad into the hospital and it was an ongoing struggle for him. Would just remind me, look at your kid, look at you. Do you want someone else to raise your child? And I'm like, no,
That's
period,
it.
dot,
That's
dot,
it.
blank. Cut. Yeah. So yeah. And that's really, when I think about it, that's truly when the reality hits for all of us, for all of us. And it's a true statement for most Polynesian women. A lot of our true struggles come when we become a mother,
Yes.
and it is. And that's what I learned along the journey. So with that, I would say, and being part of that, that's really where I started my journey, was in 2012. 2013, I started working out, and my mother was a big pusher of it. So we'd go to the Euless rec, and I was like, oh, I got this, But after I had dropped so much weight, and the crazy part is, I was never really okay. So I ate burgers on all that, but I'm the crazy. I don't know what most Tongan people think. I don't like mayo. I only eat mayo on a tuna fish sandwich. So it wasn't I craved those things, but anyhow, long story short, for that piece, a lot of it was really, my mom was a pusher. We started going to the gym, and it wasn't till later on, after my father passed in 2013, that I really started the journey afterwards of that. So I'm dying laughing because I kind of forgot the question, but I think she said, "How did I do this?"
No, yes,
That was
that's
really
it.
my journey. So that's actually honestly how my journey began, just
Wow.
in health in itself, was getting over the hurdle as a Polynesian mother
Yes,
and giving time to myself
exactly.
is the first journey
Yes.
of a health journey period.
Yeah, I think it's so hard, especially in our community, because we're always taught, to put yourself last. You take care of your parents, you take care of your children, you take care of your marriage, your husband, your life, and all of that, especially as a woman, being the nurturer in your family, and then having a child and doing everything for everybody, and then putting yourself last and quickly losing yourself. Because I know when I had my son, this one over here, Kim, I remember her pulling me to the side. I think he was 6 months and I was still, yes, I think I was at my biggest already. And it was Kim who took, she looked me in my eyes and she told me, I just want to tell you something. I just want to have a serious moment with you, because we don't ever have a serious moment, because she's always goofy 24/7. So whenever she said that, I knew to brace myself, because whatever she's gonna say, she means, and it just coming from the heart. And and she said, "You have completely lost yourself. You're not yourself. You are not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of your health, and I'm scared for you, because this is not you. I don't know who I'm looking at." And so my immediate reaction was, I was offended. First of all, because why didn't you talk to me 50 pounds ago? Why are you telling me now? And then, but the second thing was, I immediately took in everything she said, and I knew, oh, if my sister's telling me that, yeah, I need to get my life together fast, because my sisters won't, you guys won't lie to me, hopefully. I'm just kidding, but no, but I knew that, that because you guys love me so much, that that this it was hard. It was hard for her to say. I know that it was hard for Kim to say, especially as a little sister to her big sister. I know it took a lot of courage for her to approach me and tell me that, but I know that she loved me so much that she wanted me to know, I'm worried about your health. Please get it together. And so that's what drove me to Jovi, and that's why Sally. I know that's the same reason for Sally. Sally didn't tell me that, but she nonstop texting, please come with me to work out. Please come with me in the morning to work out. And so seeing Fa was the one who really brought it all together and made me realize, taking care of your children, taking care of your home and your husband and all of those things, your parents, that starts with taking care of you. And she was the one who made me feel like it was okay to focus on me, to move things around so that I can make sure that this is a priority too, that my health is a priority. And that extends to my family. And the way that I love my family is by taking care of myself, making sure that I'm healthy. And I remember there were days that we were there and it was hard, like hard. There was the first week that I spent at Jovi, and they kept putting me with partners with Fa every time. Vice, who's another sister of ours, who the Jovi is her program. She kept pairing me up with Fa every time, and I remember coming thinking like, can they pair me up with Sally, or so that, because if Sally pushes me, I'll just tell her to be quiet. Like, Sally, be quiet. But Fa, whenever Fa would push me, there's just something about, there's certain people in this world that just have that coach, instructor, energy, that when Fa told me to do it, it's like I'm back as an athlete and I want to do my best. I want to, like, my coach is telling me, come on, you can do it, hustle, I need to see you hustle. So every time Fa was telling me, no, drop it low, drop low, get down, put your butt down, put your butt down, when we're doing, planks and stuff. So every time she did it, it wasn't a suggestion. It was, to me, it took it as a command, like I need to do these things if I want to take my journey on the same journey as Fa's on. And just seeing how serious Fa was with her journey, I knew I need to listen to everything this woman says. I need to absorb everything. And so that's exactly what I did. And I attribute everything, my whole fitness journey, I give all that credit to Fa. All the time, I told anybody who wants to hear, I always tell them, She's the one who pushed me. And the thing about you, Fa, that I love is because you know how to push me to my limits. You know my limits more than I know my limits. And sometimes, I think I can't do it. And Fa will push me all the way there.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that because that brings me back to going to her workout classes. Yes. And I remember we had our station set out and I'm over there lifting. Because at first, when I first started, I'll try to lift heavy and follow start with the small. Start with the small first. That's what I love. I'm like, okay. Yes. I was like, start with the small. Like, oh, this is so easy. No, after so many reps, it's not easy. Okay. And then it came to the point where I was lifting where I was like, okay, you can go up. And she's on 10 for a while. Yeah, because I was on 10 pounds for a while, and Paul was like, I know you can do 20. I was like, fine, I'm about to get out this class. Yes, that's what I love about Fa, because when you're trying to be too serious, because sometimes I'm too serious. Oh yes, yes. Fa's like, it's not that serious, Sally. It's not that serious. But then also, if you're slacking off, she's gonna add those weights.
The funny part is when Anna's talking about this, I don't even know if you remember what you wore the first day you came to work out. Was it the yellow bumblebee? Okay, so I have to tell you the story. Yeah. Honestly, when Anna came in that day, because Sally, we knew Sally was like, okay, they're all so different in their own ways. So Sally is like your cheerleader girl, right? Like, oh, we got this positivity to the stop. When Anna came in that day, and I was like, oh, it's Sally's sister. Okay. And then when she came in, Anna, I remember, and sorry, it's not even the way, but Anna came in. It was a bright yellow. And I was like, Bumblebee, good early morning. And her face, if I could just show you what her face was, it was just kind of like that stink face. It was literally a stink face. And I remember when I got paired with her, it was even a stinkier face. But I think what I love the most, honestly, and Anna will never know this, but I don't even think she remembers also. So a week after Anna had been there, and I was like, how do you like it? She goes, I hated it the first week. It literally, I hated everything about it. I hated running. I hated everything. But we were past the first week, and then she's like, but actually, I can continue to love it. Yeah. But I don't know if you knew, the reason why when you came in and Visa gave you to me, literally we were partners. Yes. When I seen you, it was, and you will never know this, but when I seen you, it was me looking at myself a couple of years before. And I think that's what it is, because I'm like, same physique, same everything. Literally, her face was exactly my face when Visa would tell me the same thing. I just didn't have the yellow bumblebee. But yes, yeah. But that was honestly how I remembered you, was the first day you walked in, because even later on down the years, I asked you, wear the same shirt you wore. Yes. And you did, and you were just like, and I said, I'm going to take that picture with the first one, because literally I'm the same one who made you say, okay, lift your shirt up. Tuck it. Here, just wear it. Come in, wear a tank top the day before. And I don't know if you even knew that. And you're like, I don't want you. I said, just wear a tank top. I promise you. I'm going to take this picture. Then you will look at this picture a couple of months and you will see it. And then that's why I just, when you were talking about the first time we met, yes, we matched. She didn't care for me. But she was a bright yellow bumblebee early that morning.
Yeah, that is really embarrassing. Wow. I remember coming to class all the time, already used to knowing, they're going to put me Fa today. And it turned from, that hatred and being so nervous and so anxious when we get there to now I'm trying to challenge myself to go, after her footsteps, and I'm trying to keep up with Fa, and I'm trying to do everything that Fa's doing and everything that Fa's lifting. And I remember being so blown away because of just your strength and endurance, and we would be, we're so many years apart. But when we work out, you can tell who's strong and who's dominating everything that we're doing. So I remember, going from being irritated by coming to this class to now that's my goal. Like I'm trying to hit everything that Fa's doing. I'm trying to go, I'm trying to go all the way there to everything she's doing and the way she's doing it. And one of the things that kept me going was because of feeling like I had that support, and just like Sally said, when Fa would step in and tell you, like, it's not that deep, you're going to be okay. Just relax. And so that's something that helps me because everyone has their own way to work out. Everyone has their own way to learn. And Fa matched up with me so well, and she spoke to me how I needed to be spoken to so that I could take that coaching, and I could be open to all the instruction that she was giving me, telling me, she didn't tell me quit everything cold turkey, stop everything that you're doing, stop the way that you're living and this. No, she gave me practical tools that I can use, in order to get to my goals. And so, I mean, the results prove, everything that you instructed me worked. I mean, it worked, it helped me. Everything that I want, all my goals, I reached it just under a year, just because of coming there and being coached by you and feeling so supported and so seen. And so, I felt like you really did take me under your wing and help me, mold me, and not just physically, but mentally too. I remember Fa saying, when we would do the wall climbs and things like that.
Didn't you hate those?
And planks, Fa's favorite stuff.
I hated it.
And it would be, wall kicks. And my arms would be so shaky. And she would say, if you can't lift yourself up, that's your fault. That's because, and she would say, that's your weight.
Kim hated me.
The one that hates to work out.
Yes, like I said, I'm the type, when I work out, if you tell me to do something, I'm probably going to be rolling my eyes, but I know it's because I need to hear it. And you roll your eyes back at me and tell me to do it, because I am going to do it, okay? I roll your eyes at you, you roll your eyes at me and tell me to shut my mouth, okay? That is how I work out. That's how I work out. But just like Anna was saying about Fa really instilling in us just how to make it a lifestyle. Sally loves to mention about my crash diets. One thing with those that I did learn was just as fast as you lose it, you gain it back just as fast, or if not even faster. So Fa teaching me to eat that orange and that it's a lifestyle. It
gave
really,
up the keto diet.
Yes, it really stuck to me that it really is a lifestyle, and not to be so strict with what I'm eating and put it into my body, because
enjoy life.
Yes, exactly.
Please.
Enjoy life. When you make it a lifestyle, health and fitness, you can indulge in those things that you want to, because you're making sure that what you put in, you're putting out, and you're walking or jogging or whatever type of fitness that you're doing. So thank you, Fa.
Yes. So did your relationship with food change drastically once you took your health seriously?
Yes, and I literally honestly have to give it back to Visa. So I was the same one. When I started my journey, I was chasing Visa. And what I meant by that is, like, I loved watching her.
Right.
Like, that girl can climb a tree, can climb a rope, can climb. And yes, exactly. And she inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally learned so much from her, because that's when the food started changing too. Like, I loved healthy. I'm the one who loves vegetables. I love those. But it was how to make it to where you enjoyed it.
Right.
Like, putting different things on it, how you can sauce it up a little bit more, And I discovered when I went to her first class, and I was like you, when we did the walls, I hated it. I decided the next day, because it was a challenge, that I would start my journey then.
Right.
And when I did that is when I started to pay attention. Like, she just gave so much wisdom in how to run, how to eat, what to eat, how much you need to intake, what your body mass was. So has it changed? Yes, my lifestyle has changed. I still, and that's why I always thought it was so important to tell, even when you guys were on your journey, don't cut it cold turkey.
Yeah. Right.
Because when you ended up cutting cold turkey, you'd come back and you'd have like 10 more of it.
Yeah.
So I always found that eating is what all of us love to do. But it was just tempering it, meaning like taming it down a little bit. You didn't eat. And so I learned an important role from there is when I started to eat a lot healthier. One, my daughter started playing, or she wanted to play. But when I look at my kid and I was like, dude, I started to be greedy. And what I meant by that, if I was getting healthy myself, why aren't I getting my kids healthy? And so then I started changing, and we started doing different things, eating different things. And when you're trying to feed children, and corn is the only thing that they think is a vegetable. That's the Tongan vegetable, is just corn. You have to change it. And when I started to change, I seen the drastic, I made my whole family change. And that's what I think I love the most is that when we made it a lifestyle, it continues. And who are we to not change the way? And how is it that we're just going to change ourselves but not change our family? You're going to get fit, and then here are your little ones. You know, so it was really food really is the, I want to say it's like the, okay, fine, it's Sunday, I can use this. You know, it's the evil and the good of it both. Because food isn't there. Literally, when it comes down to it, it's all of our choices. It's our free agency. It's our freedom to choose. And that's what I had discovered is on the journey. Everything, when I couldn't lift myself, I hated the wall with a passion. I hated doing dips with a passion. I hated burpees. Out with a passion. But I had discovered while I was doing it that I couldn't blame anyone but myself. Because if I couldn't lift myself and hold myself, there was no one to blame but me for eating what I did. And that's why eating healthy was so important. And I still today, like I can eat today, but I'll have a chocolate and I can have half a chocolate, you know, but I'm talking like a small bar. Or I'll even have like half of it and I'll be done. And I'll be like, I'm satisfied, you know, but is eating? Yes. Eating is our biggest, it's the obesity of everybody, you know, and even not eating enough is the other obesity, because then sometimes you become bulimic. So it's, you have to find your balance. It's either one or the other. When you go extreme, and there's not, everyone has it. Weight Watchers was mine. You know, I live by Weight Watchers. I live by calories. No, more like point system. You know, so everyone has to figure out what works for them. But honestly, when it comes down to it, it's literally all food. It's how we partake of our food. It's how we indulge in it. It's, you know, and I hate to say it is, I love food, but at the same time, when we go to functions, I'm the same one that I feel bad. Because of course, I mean, I feel good and bad. I feel bad. I feel bad when I think about it, but when I'm eating it, it's so good because it's just all the loving grease. But you know what? But at the same time, we can always say, we'll eat it just enough because tomorrow we'll go ahead and put 10 times in better. Yes. So it is a continuous joy.
Yes,
And I'm sure Kim will know by that.
Yeah, because that's exactly right. There's I think like the saying, but that whenever you start your fitness health and your journey, that the gym it's 90% in the kitchen and 10% working out, and that just goes to show that how important you know, you're eating what you put in your body.
Yes, and just like you were saying, how it changed for your entire family, like that's one of the benefits that made this fitness journey so rewarding, is because you took your whole family with you on that, and they got to watch you and witness you be serious about health, which then, you know, trickle down to them and how they view food and view exercise. I remember when I started out, and I was, you know, you're so excited in the beginning, and you buy all your healthy stuff and your fruits and your coconut water, your protein, and all of these things. And I remember my kids would love, because they want to eat the cheese and the, you know, all the nuts and the whatever, all the healthy snacks. And I remember telling them, you guys have your food, don't eat my food. And I remember my husband saying, isn't that weird? If you think that that's good for you, why would you not want to share with your children?
That's right.
And I was like, first of all,
you're the bumblebee.
I felt, get out. Just get out.
The bumblebee was coming back.
Where's my bumblebee shirt? Where's my bumblebee shirt?
The children.
Yes. So that's when I was like, wait, I'm doing this wrong. I need to rethink what I'm doing, because this is wrong, you know? So whenever he said that, I remember thinking, you are so right. I need to redo this again for everybody,
exactly.
you know. And so that's why I was telling you, Kim, that I'm so glad that you took this journey with Step and then turning it into becoming an instructor,
Yeah.
because your kids are following in your footsteps,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they love and enjoy being active.
Yeah.
That's something that they look forward to.
Yeah.
Yes, even your twin boys. How old are they?
They're 5.
5-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know, really enjoying this thing that you do, doing burpees
Yeah.
together as a family. You know,
Yeah.
that's a family activity all of a sudden.
Yes.
So I mean, that is just right. Yeah, who would have thought?
Exactly.
So that's so cool to see.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, just like Fa, when you started out on your journey and you were doing this for yourself and then for your family,
Mhm.
and it became a thing, became part of your life, became
right.
your existence. And what made you want to become an instructor and share that with other people?
I think part of the reason why is because I had people who believed in me, and it was just giving back. You know, I did it for free for so many years. I think the only time we had to pay is because we were in the Euless Rec Center.
Right.
But I invested, and I think that's what I loved. It was giving back. It was giving back. And I can honestly say, I mean, there were days, like I said, I started to go on Amazon. I started to buy stuff. And my husband was like, I went on this trend of purchasing things, but it was literally trying to find equipment that I could be able to load up and to take, because it wasn't free. You invest in a lot of stuff. So yes, Marketplace is a place to go, but it was called Give Up or whatever. You just went, you changed from people's houses. But that's literally how I got equipment, and I started training. And it was just training what I had learned over the years, and also just giving back what someone had given me. And I think I loved it because during COVID was probably when I enjoyed it the most, because I had made it such a lifestyle that it was a lifestyle for me and my kid, that she even had no choice. But at the same time, she enjoyed it too. So part of my way to give back is like, okay, what free place can we go to where we don't require masks? And if you know me, I love the outdoors. And these guys know they hate it. It doesn't. I don't need equipment. I will find something that we will put our feet on.
Yes, Fa taught us that our body weight, that's the one.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes, and I think that's what I loved, was just giving back. And as long as people were willing to come, there were days it would only be one person.
Right.
I didn't care, but I just felt like if I can give back to so many other people what someone gave to me, that's all we can do. And I think that's what, I mean, Kim does that currently now, with her Step, is having a platform. And it's the platform just to allow people that it's a safe space. And that it's a hard journey. Look, we've all been there. We've been there, we've been back, we've been there, we've been back. It is a constant, ongoing journey. But the fact that it's just helping someone to believe, hey, it's possible. It really is possible. And that's what I love, is that, I love when people come up and they're like, hey, I'm starting a fitness. Perfect. I'll be there. It's just trying to help others to recognize you're not alone. We've been on a journey. I'm not trying to be fiapoto or anything. If you need my help, I'm here. If you're not, I'm here as a supporter. I can go either way. But I feel like the biggest way we can be more Christ-like and more loving to people is giving back. And I that's what I think is the biggest thing, is when you look at people giving back to our own community, it's probably the most grandest, most humbling, most Christ-like thing anyone can ever do.
For sure.
And at the same time, I get it if people charge for a little fun, because it is also their way of life.
Right.
So it's not one or the other. To me, it's just phenomenal when you can give back to the community and in itself. And I mean, that's just what I love doing. And I'll be honest, a good person I learned from was my husband. My husband does it. We ain't got no boys at all.
Right.
I have no boys, but I have done so many football camps, more than anything, but I love it because it's always giving back to community. Everything that we try to do is always to give back to our kids, to help our younger mothers, our older parents, you know, and you can't blame nobody because once again, you know, our parents grew up different
Right.
and what they learned, and then we became parents. We
Yes.
took whatever our what we liked and didn't like from our
Mhm.
parents. We teach our kids will teach our other kids something else.
Right.
So it's literally just trying to share the knowledge that we have
Yes.
with others to be able to give them a platform to say, hey, you're not the only one that's
Mhm.
been there,
Yeah.
you know.
That's my favorite kind of people. I love people that once they discover new information, helpful information, that they take it and they want to share it with everybody that they can tell about this thing that they know works, you know? And so that's exactly what you did. Like you discovered this second chance at life, and then you took that and you are so passionate. That's why it's so easy to listen to you, even when at the beginning of my journey. That's why, because I could feel, I could feel that passion, you know, that this is not just something for you to show up or show off or, you know, look at me. This was real. This is real to you, that you saw me in that place, and you knew I know exactly how to bring you to this side. Let me help you. Let me come alongside you. And you did that. Like on my hardest days, you were like that voice of encouragement that kept me going. It was to the point like I don't even want to show up to work out. I'm just showing up so I
of what was gonna come
Right.
out.
Like I don't want to work. I'm not even showing up to work out anymore. I'm just showing up so I don't disappoint you. Like at this point, because I can tell how invested you are in my well-being, that I'm just showing up for you, you know, which then turn around to showing up for me because it helped me by being there. But yeah, I just love people like that. I love people like that in this world that make a difference, that take something and are so passionate with helping others. And you did it free. You did it for free. And I know it was an investment, because at 5, remember, we're starting at 5, which means you're waking up at 4:30 or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
For 5, you're waking up earlier than 4:30 because you're either doing it the night before or the morning of. You're loading up your car, and yes, and your SUV, like when Fa pulls up and opens up, you know, the back of her SUV,
Yeah.
it is filled.
Yes.
All seats are down,
Yep.
and everything,
Exactly.
like everything is there,
everything's
and
falling
she's
out,
driving
the
around the
mats,
parking
the
lot,
medicine ball,
throwing
the
out tires, medicine ball,
and I'm just like, I'm getting back in my car.
right.
Okay.
like
I don't like the way this looks.
kickboxing, whatever it is that we were doing, to the
Uh-huh.
jump ropes, everything's
all the
coming out of
weights,
the
yep.
truck. And I remember thinking, man, that I know that takes so much.
Oh,
because
yes.
also, where's your husband and your daughter sitting at?
Yeah.
You're unloading and loading every day. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're doing this every
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of
does.
investment,
And
not
preparation.
just financially, but you yourself emotionally.
Exactly.
I'm just putting into this,
Mhm.
you know, coming up with the workouts.
That's right.
Coming up with, you know, thinking who's going to be there, how are we going to divide
Mhm.
this up, and showing up, because as an
Exactly.
instructor,
You
you
don't know
got to
who's
show
gonna-
up.
You don't know
If
who's
no
gonna
one else
show up.
showing up,
Exactly. Yeah, rain or
rain
shine.
or
That's
shine,
right.
you're showing up.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just because of seeing your passion for it, that's why I was like, you know,
Yeah.
that TikTok meme where they pull out their card and they're like,
Yeah.
take everything. What do you want me to do? Take everything, because I know that you're gonna make it happen.
Exactly.
And the thing is, because even though, you know, our journeys we all went our separate ways, still continuing the same journey, but because of life, motherhood, and all those things, I still see you. You know, when I see others my age and coming up, our
Yes.
generation going through their fitness journey, I'm like, is that Fa in the background?
Yes. Always catch her
Yes.
in somebody's workout video.
She's a part of
I'm like, Fa, you're at every gym.
single person.
You have a membership at every gym, don't you?
If there's an instructor in our community that pops up,
Fa,
with a
you're in my
class,
neighborhood.
Fa's there.
Come on now.
Right. I'm like, how many gym?
Where did you know I lived?
How many gym memberships does Fa have? Because she's everywhere.
No,
you know?
seriously.
And, but she literally shows up to
Yes.
everything that everyone's doing.
Yeah.
And even others that I see starting out their journey,
Mhm.
you know, and they'll post an Instagram
Exactly.
story or something.
Mhm.
And then I'll see Fa in the comments,
Yes.
like encouraging
Yep.
them. Like, does this woman
Yeah.
have something that gives her like a notification
Uh-huh.
when someone's on a
Yes.
health journey?
Yeah.
Because she is so intertwined in everything everything,
Exactly.
everything like that in our community.
Yeah, and it
is amazing.
It takes me back to the memory. Talking about the gym. Me and Anna, we just hopped back on working out again.
This was
and
during COVID.
And then I remember we this is the time we were waking up like what 5 in the morning.
5 in the morning.
I don't even know how that happened, but it happened. So yeah, we just started back up on our journey again. Like we said, this is a lifestyle, so we started back up. And I remember Anna was saying like, "Oh, I think fall might come one day. We don't know." We're working out. We look out the window, and who do we see?
And we were so
Miss Sunshine.
Like, oh no, Fall's here.
Yeah, and sure enough, here she is showing us each station how to do this. Then she has like the, what do you call it? The it's like the rope or whatever, and you put your feet in it. Oh, TRX bands, and she's making us do all these different moves with our body weight. Never again. Again.
Kim was like, "We're just here to hang out."
Yeah, no, I remember that because Anna said, yes, Anna said, "Are you guys going to come?" I said, "Yes, but I'm going to show up just randomly." Because I know if I would have told them when I was going to show up, they ain't going to show up. I remember showing up that morning because I was so proud of them going back to the gym. And I remember, because Sally, I think, was pregnant again. Yes, but I remember you guys going, and I was like, yes. Like how you have that small, okay, so literally there's that intimate group that I truly still follow, and you guys are part of it, and I still have my older mamas that I still follow, but I just have an intimate group where we shared a bond.
Yes.
And then it's like when you're on a journey, it's just like, you're on again. We're good. And I'm like, I was like, oh, good, check. No, but I don't have a cleaner. Just to know, I do not. I mean, if I really wanted to find you, I can find you. That's where my other background comes from. Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, I think what I loved is that through that journey, I tried everything.
Yes.
I literally tried kickboxing, loved it, but I couldn't afford it. That's why I stopped. Yeah, 183. Where do I have 183? But literally I learned kickboxing. I went to like CG classes. I went to other boot camp classes. And that's what I loved so much, is that whatever fitness that you went to or that I went to, I took what I love and meant so much for me, and I applied it into my workout. So even with, I know you guys have extreme, extreme burn. When we were doing Zumba at the time, because Mui was a Zumba instructor, I was doing Zumba Strong, which was basically pure plyometrics, which is what the burn is. I love body work burn. Like no other, because it was pure strength. And that's why I loved Zumba Strong at that time. And that's all it was, because I remember when I did, they're like, what the heck kind of stuff is this? I mean, but it was just the passion that I had about learning. Dude, you really don't need workout weights for nothing. You can literally just have a chair. And I remember in COVID, we would have those cameras and we'd be back. Anna, put your feet on top of the couch. And I don't know if you guys even remember that, but it was literally, what can I do at home? And we were all struggling with COVID. I was so blessed because of the things I had learned over the years, that it was such a platform, even for us to be able to say, hey, you can still do workouts. You don't need this. You don't need a partner to throw your legs, put your hand under the couch, throw them yourself, but they were just, and that's what I just love, is that the journey, it's granted, yes, it is a workout, but it's the journey that just makes it amazing.
Yes, I remember during COVID, at this time, gyms were shutting down. People were freaking out because they didn't have equipment accessible anymore, and all these, things that they weren't able to do, even going out to the park, because they were, kind of having people at one time. Do you remember that? That's crazy to think about now, that even at one time, people weren't even going out to parks, to walk the trails. But at this time, I remember Fa giving us all the tools that we needed. And that's one thing that I learned, is that you don't need any workout equipment, bands, anything. You can do a full set different things every single day, just using your body weight. And I remember I don't know if you remember Kim, but Fa texted us. We had a text thread, a group. Yeah, Kim's like, how could I forget? And she would text us things like, hey, this is a challenge I want you guys to do. I want you guys to try out this thing over here. So that's something that actually helped a lot during COVID, because, like now people joke around about how many pounds they gained over COVID. Yeah. And it's real, even my kids, even children were gaining weight because of not being at school and being active anymore. So that really helped a lot because, as we know, exercising has a direct correlation to your mental health, and so Fa really helped us to keep moving. Don't stay still. Keep moving. Keep pushing yourself. There's always something you can do. That's one thing that she's drilled into my mind. Like, there's always something you can do. And I truly believe that. Yeah. So thank you so much, Fa, for teaching us that, especially Kim, because she really needed to know that.
Kim already had it. I can tell you the first time it was Kim, we were at the park. We were at the Star Park. Yes. I did the early morning classes, and I just remember I had made a comment to Kim, and I was like, knowing that she's the youngest, right? We all have the younger sibling. Yes. So I had made the comment, and we were doing, and what we hardly had weights. I think most of the time we were like, that's why they hate it. We were doing mountain climbers on the freaking stone benches every day. If not, it was like, okay, we literally worked out with a band. Yes. And I remember one day Kim was like, I gave her the weights and she was just like, and I knew that she was like, so I'd go by each person. Okay, you got it. Pause it. And Kim was just like, done. And then she'd lay there. And I was like, this girl. And then I said, Kim, slow down. She's like, I said, what? And by the way, she was wearing a volleyball shirt. Yes. And that's what caught my attention. And I said, hey, you played for, my daughter was playing club at that time. And I said, hey, you played for this club? And she's like, yeah, I was a volleyball player. That's really what ended the score. Because once she said I was a volleyball player, I was like, oh, we gonna play now. So I remember that is when it changed, when Kim said I was a volleyball player, because really Kim had that don't help me kind of attitude, and I remember that. And I was like, okay, she is not here because she wants to. She got dragged by her sister, which got dragged by the other sister. This one. Who, what I can tell you about Sally, so I'll come back to Sally. Yes. But that's what I loved, is I just remember when Kim just gave me that kind of attitude, like, I'm just here because I have to be. And I just remember Anna would text me, sorry, I'm running late. Kim's just now waking up. Yes. And I was like, I got all the time in the world. Don't you worry. Because before they got there, they thought they were going to get off. We ran every morning, and it was a mile pretty much every morning. Don't ask me now. That's a whole nother episode. Right.
Speaking of the next episode, this is all we have for this week, but stay tuned for next week as we continue to wrap up this discussion with Fa.
Thank you for tuning in to our Anastatic podcast. Bye!